rocket ship. Oh, I got the rope. Oh, that's why. Oh, the rope wasn't attached. Yeah. Oh, keep going. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, it's heavier than it looks. She slides good on it. There. Perfect. Well, good morning, guys. We're getting late in the season. We're gonna take advantage of some little bit of ice fishing. We got Chris here. Chris? Yep. Don? Yep. How's it going, Don?
Is that a question or just making sure my name's still the same?
Well, I was just making sure you're aware that they're here.
Oh.
Just gotta say hello.
They just showed up.
They just showed up. Hi! All right, so we're doing some ice fishing today, and I've got a little bit of a ice fishing shelter that we're gonna put together because I'm gonna be spending the night out here all alone on the ice. That sounds scary, doesn't it? That's probably fine. Don's got some appointments this afternoon, so he's not going to be tagging along. But yeah, we're going to see if we can get our shore lunch because there is trout. There is trout down there. I don't see any trout, but the idea is to fish some of these guys out. So I'm going to be doing my pop-up ice fishing cabin. Now, I had this this idea for a homeless shelter. If you guys haven't seen that video, you can check it out. And what I did was actually I made another one because it worked so well for that I wanted another one. So yeah, Chris hasn't actually seen it in full force yet. Chris, you excited to see this thing?
We'll see if it works as an ice shack.
Well, it's gonna, I don't know. He's got to poke a hole through the bottom. That's the only real difference between having, you know, a shelter and an ice shack is a hole in the floor. But I think this is definitely a viable solution to ice fishing around the world. This thing is really cool. Maybe I'm overselling it. Anyways, let's get it down here. Let's get it set up. Chris is gonna be poking some holes, setting some test lines in there. Let's get started. Fish got caught on that line and pulled this line, so it looked like both fish. Oh, that is. Oh, oh.
Here, we're on tangle that one.
Look at that one.
You want to get it? Here, I'll show you how to get it. So, take the slack out.
Yeah.
And then you want to pull up until you feel the weight of the fish or the tug, which is about there. And then just lightly set. And then you're working it with your hand. And then you got to let the fish run when it runs. And then when you get close to the bottom of the ice, you got to not bonk it on the bottom because then you're going to either break your line or lose the fish or both. So you got to kind of play it out real slow, tire it out. And then once you get it to the hole, you got to get it oriented in the middle of the hole without bumping it off the bottom. And then you got to stick your hand in the hole, pour out. There you go. 2 rainbow trouts on the ice for you. They seem pretty healthy too. Smaller ones though, still no sign of giant Lois and giant Clark, but I'm sure they're down there somewhere. Swallowed it pretty good. You want to take that out? This is your dinner.
It is pretty good. That one swallowed it too. I think
we got these guys out first.
We got a mess of line everywhere.
Yeah, it's a mess because one of the lines close together. Now they're all wrapped up amongst each other. So
it's a pretty good looking trout.
Yeah, not one of the biggest ones, but that's a good.
What's wrong with the dorsal fin?
That's just from a hatchery. It's a hatchery accident, I guess.
All right.
I don't know. They're just like that. There we go. 2 on the board anyway.
All right, we got her all set up. We got her all screwed in place. Now I've got my open shell and it's ripe for a hole. I'm gonna put a hole down in the center so I can fish overnight. I don't have to get out of my cabin. And yeah, so I'm gonna put it right over top of the aeration system. We've already got 2 fish. 2 fish. Chris is going for a 3rd and 4th. We haven't really caught the really big ones yet, which is surprising, only the little guys. But we had 2 on at exactly the same time. That's why we didn't actually get any footage of it. Because we were scrambling, everybody was scrambling to try to get their fish on. We got some tangled going on. I bet the holes really close together. But anyways, this thing's all set up now. I just gotta put my solar panels on and my power supply because I want some lighting. Yeah, so we're as you can see, it didn't really take that long to actually set up, which is kind of cool. So you flat pack it, ship it wherever you go, and then you just put it together. Easy peasy.
And just kind of just do firm, and then just pull like this. You have to be ready to let line go backwards when it just starts fighting.
Oh, it ran away.
What's there?
You think it's there? Oh, it is. It's swimming up top.
So remember, don't let this line curl into everything, and don't get this line over here or anything, because you got to get that back down there. So pay attention, because it's going to freak out once it gets to the top of the hole here.
Oh, she's a big one.
Let it go when it wants to go, because you got to mind the line too.
Oh, watch what you're doing over here.
And don't get tangled up. £6 test line, so once you feel that stretch, you see a sinker, and then now it's running. Once it gets to the bottom of the hole, it's going to do another run, right? And you don't want to smash it on the bottom of the hole. You got to get it lined up in the middle.
She's gonna get tired.
Is it going to get tired? Well, at some point, I sure. Oh, that's the sinker, so it's at the bottom of the hole.
No, it's
You're going to land this yourself, so stick your hand in the hole and then shovel it up once it gets its head. Once you get the head in the hole, don't fight it.
It's a big one.
Get the head up.
Well, it's rolled it's rolled up in the line.
Okay, go now, go now, go now. Get your hand in the hole.
It's sunk. Look at the size of that one. It's the biggest one yet. Holy! Look at that. Hold it. Look at how big that fish is.
Wow.
Oh, gonna hold it out front because it looks a little bigger. Oh my, it's all tangled up in the line. Look, slimy.
Mind the line.
Slimy.
You get it back down in there.
All right, I need a. It's got like, yeah. I need some pliers. I need some pliers because. Well, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on how this cabin exactly is built. So these are reused garage door panels. They started off their life as a garage door, and then once they get scratched or dented, or even when they're getting installed, they get scratched or dented, they get discarded. Now, scrapyards don't particularly like them because they have styrofoam in the middle of them, and they're not the easiest to recycle. So they're pretty easy to come by. If you ask a garage door guy, they'll be happy to kind of hand them to you. And they're an ideal building material for something that doesn't require a lot of structure. So when I did this build, I started off with the bottom chunk, which I added a couple of downhill skis to, screwed them in place. That allows me to flat pack the entire thing and then have a sliding thing that allows me to move it really easily. And then I build a pentagon shape on the fronts and backs, and then I just stand those up, put a couple of screws in there, and then basically put it together like Lego. I start with the sides, add some sides, put a couple of screws in, and then work my way up to the top. And then what I did was I cut actually a door in, kind of like a freezer door, which allows to get in and out from the front. And then once everything's assembled, what I'll do is I'll run a bead of tape around all of the seams and make it watertight. All right, well, I'm gonna show you guys real time how to make yourselves a really cool fire pit that can go ice fishing with you. It can keep it off the ground so it's not melting your ice and you're falling through. So first we gotta start off with an old propane tank. I'm not sure of the size of this tank. It's pretty wide and beefy. Now, it's important to note that you gotta make sure your tank is empty because when you're cutting and grinding propane, things go boom. So first of all, let's start. So what do we gotta do? We gotta cut this thing, but we have to take this valve off. We gotta take that off, and then there's a valve on here, and you can unscrew it, and yeah, or there we go. So that thing is off now. So we got the valve off, we got the thing. It's a good idea to actually fill these things with water because you never know if there's a little bit of residual propane in there. Kind of smells funny. I just want to make sure. Don't try this at home. Okay. There's no gas in there. Making sure that's not flammable. Just because you want to fill it with water first, and then that forces all the propane out of the thing. So what I'm going to start with is I want to cut this thing apart. And I kind of want to have a little bit of a fire bowl. And I'm going to keep the bottom portion of it. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this thing and measure it out. Got my Sharpie. It's not exact science. It's arts and crafts. We've got to cut it now. So what I like to use, you can use an angle grinder, Diablo saw blade, and it's designed to cut metal. It's got some sort of space age technology in there. Ear protection, face protection, chips protection. Are we ready? Ready? Already got it. Whew. All right, so we got 2 fire bowls. Save that one for later. It's kind of cool. All right, so what we're left with is a really neat sort of size. She's a little, I gotta get a little better with that saw, but I feel like I'm yelling. All right, so it's actually pretty good. I don't know, I'm gonna knock the edges off so they're not so sharp. All right. Now we want to make legs for this thing. So I've got some old metal. I want to make them about, I don't know, about that long. I'll make a little tripod. One leg. Okay. Legs. We want this thing to be relatively stable. Okay. Bing, bang, a boom. What do we got? All right. So you're probably thinking these legs are way out of whack, and it's true they are, because I did not calculate the angle, but I don't really have to. So as long as my thing is on a level surface, you can do this with a stool too, if you're making like a chair. And you basically shoot a laser, level laser across the thing. This is self-leveling. So this guy here, anyways. So there you go. There's a little, I'm gonna get to the maximum height. Put it there, and then you just take your Sharpie or whatever, and you mark all the way around, and that gives you your level. So when you flip this guy back over after you cut your legs again, your legs are going to be level. Perfectly level, stable, secure. I just gotta do some more welding on it, and we're good to go. Ta-da! Cooker. I think it looks rather smashing. Actually, I'm gonna cut some vent holes in to give myself a little bit of breathing, get my combustion a little bit better. But I think that's pretty darn good. There, that probably took about a half an hour in real time. I had to stop because I ran out of batteries. But anyways, this is a really cool, I think it's a really cool fireplace that's going to be able to stand up off of the ice, not gonna melt my ice. It's gonna be able to cook on it and everything. And my ventilation holes allow my combustion air to come up through the bottom of the thing and burn. Maybe I'll actually add a little bit of a grill down there and keep my fire up off the bottom. And I think that'll work really, really well. All right, let's give it its first test. Don, you got your natural habitat there. What do you think? You got some sticks?
Got some sticks. Build a fire.
Where's your fire? We just
right here?
Yeah, that's probably a good spot for it. Actually, maybe we'll move it a little bit back. That looks actually like it's gonna work pretty good. The good thing about that is you can move it pretty much wherever you want to if the smoke's in your face. But we can light that thing out and get a nice little thing going. We're not gonna need much to start that thing. Okay. Okay. Good. Don't pull too much. That's good. So hooking up the diesel heater now. Just got to put my terminals on. Just got a car battery to hook up to this thing. I have some solar panels to trickle charge it. Allows me to kind of run indefinitely as long as I have diesel fuel. What's really cool about these things is they heat up in a hurry, and they're relatively efficient, and they only require a little bit of fuel for the amount of heat that they produce. I haven't found a real suitable solution for heating besides wood and diesel, because electricity just don't cut it in these kind of climates. So anyways, this thing, once I get it hooked up, I'll give you a little tour. Even with the cracks in the outside of the cabin, it doesn't have a problem keeping this thing warm. That's why this one's gonna, that's why I'm using this thing. All right, just give you a little rundown on how this thing is set up. So this is a 12-volt car battery. This is the Vivor diesel heater. This is the little control panel. So how you turn it on is you hit the on button and it turns on. There's a settings from 1 to 6. 6 being really, really hot for this size of a space. 1 being pretty comfortable, even with the door open. So this thing is pretty efficient that way. So right here, this is where the diesel goes in this little tank here. It holds, I'm not sure exactly how much it holds, but anyways, this is a deep cycle marine battery. This thing will power this heater for a really long time. So essentially it powers the blower and the glow plug that's inside. So what's going to happen is it's currently heating up the glow plug, and once that's started, it's going to ignite the diesel fuel, and it's going to produce a really, really nice warm heat to heat up this space. Be nice and comfortable for sleeping and fishing and doing all that sort of thing. So this thing is, the link will be in the description below if you want to get yourself one of these heaters. I've got them in a couple of different places, and I highly recommend them. Got anything in there?
See my worm.
Oh, there's your worm. Look at that. That's pretty good clarity.
Yeah, it's like a foot. If I back it up, like that's about a foot. It starts to disappear at about a foot. So
it's not terrible.
It's not the best, not the worst, I guess. And it's down what, 10 feet, right? So
there's not that much daylight down there.
No. And it's not. There's no sun on the pond.
How many inches ice you got?
Maybe a foot.
That's pretty good. That thing's cooking. Look at
Two-man. I'm gonna have to redesign. That would be cooler if it was like on the top maybe, then you can preserve your ground.
But the problem is the heat rises. You want to heat it on low? I guess you know what, you could.
You're gonna balloon heat it.
But in theory, you could just put this outside.
That would be better.
You could just actually have it outside, but it's not as efficient because it's sucking cold air, blowing hot air in.
Where's the warm air? Where's the heat? Where's the air from that coming from?
At the back, it's pulling.
Coming from the outside?
Well, it's pulling combustion air from the outside, but it's pulling air that's inside to heat it up again.
So we're not going to get carbon monoxide in here?
No, because it's vented out. No, there's a vent too. There's a vent, then the fresh air, and then there's a recirculation. The other little problem I'm having here is that, well, I'm kind of snorkeling here. I'm kind of making a hole. Originally, these things are designed to be installed in caravans, so that's why the exhaust comes out the bottom. That would probably be the same problem if I were to actually have it outside, although I could mount it on the wall. If I mounted it on the wall, I would have ample distance to vent it without doing then just right angle in. That could work too. I wanted it to be self-contained, original, so anyways, afterthought. Still working pretty good, but oh, that's hot. Oh, she's toasty. She's like, you know what, that's a nice spot to wash your hands. It's actually not terribly cold water.
But if you have it off the ground or outside, then you can put an extra hole for fishing, because otherwise you only have one spot.
The only problem with that is right here we got skis.
Well, you're not going to do there, but you're going to do over there.
Yeah, you got a hole there. How many holes do you want in here?
2.
2.
You want to fish with somebody.
You want to fish alone? Come on.
Yeah, you could fish alone. But
I think this is quite cozy. I got. I'm gonna make this guy is permanent like this, so you can take this on an adventure if you want it. I'm gonna spray foam it and I'm gonna tape all the seams, so it's gonna be watertight and permanent.
The only problem is I don't have anything to pull it with.
You can just put it on your car, right on the roof. It's not very heavy.
If you cut that in half, you can make a door. So
like this flips open, so you just walk straight out.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I didn't do that is because these panels are all together, so your structural integrity, although you can brace it. Yeah, it could happen. Do you want one there? Do you want to take this thing on an adventure?
We'll see.
Let's see.
I don't have any place to. I can't put it in my car.
I'll just drop it off, and I'll go somewhere else.
And to be nimble.
So what Chris is talking about here is that he suggests that I cut like basically a door here that the thing just swings open, which can be done. There are mending plates, which actually not mending plates. They're actually like little channels that go on here. So what I could do is actually cut that off and then actually add a hinge to it, so it could open like this, and then you just walk out. That's not a terrible idea. Or what I could do is actually just fold it down, just flop it down. What about that?
That would work. Or like which
like
way?
A ramp.
In
just
or out?
flop it down.
That'll work.
I think flopping it down is the way to go on that, because then you can just fold it up when you're done, and then maybe put some anti-slip stuff like skateboard tape or something like that on there, so you don't just wipe out on it. Skateboard tape.
Ice fishing's all about getting in and out, because you don't want to be in all the time, you don't want to be out all the time, so getting in and out is really the trick.
Do you see the temperature? Currently it's 20 degrees in here. and over there it's like -4. So
The door's not even closed.
well, because we got the heat. You got your heat. You don't want to close the door. You'll sweat to death. No, no. And it's dark. I don't have any lights yet. Open. I need to do some. Anyways.
Need some windows.
Yeah. Well, the whole idea behind this whole build is that it's a comfortable place to get out of the cold in case of an emergency. So now we're going luxurious. But you know what? If I was out in the middle of the lake and I was looking out in here and I was like, there's blistering wind and crazy stuff, I'd just be like, I'm in my own little ecosystem here. There's actually this little caught thing is next level. It's pretty cool. All right. Got her just cooking. This thing's awesome. All right, I got a pretty good coal bed going on, but I did overlook a little something of how do I put my pan? How do I put my pan on there? So I'm gonna cut a couple of grooves in there just to give myself a piece of steel that's going to sit on it without burning myself. So I wanna have this guy sitting maybe like half on the side. I don't know, maybe 2 bars. Let's do 2 bars. 2 bars across. Get them on there, place for my pan to sit. All right, got my fishing all set up. Got my hole digging. See if I catch anything. This thing's going to, this is actually my brother's tip up. He's got it fashioned with some, looks like some metal coat hanger and a little weight. So when it tips up, it actually rings a little bell here. Makes a little cling cling. So once that's up, you know, you have a fish on. He built this thing like 25 years ago. I think he was in high school when he built this thing. This thing's actually pretty neat. Fishing line, tip up, there. So it's all set. Get my fish inside my shack. Dinner's cooking, dinner's coming out of the hole. I gotta do many things at once. So let's tip up, just tip down. Let's see if I can get one. Okay. Oh, okay. Did he swallow it? Hit it hard. Nothing on there. Shot it right down and then it let it go. That's crazy. Oh well. Get the next one. Isn't that the strangest thing you've ever seen? Like it's a little mole. Look at, I think he smelled dinner. What are you doing? Where are you going? You're out a little early. Oh, I found a little home. Where'd it go? I think that's like a mole. Alright, I think that's done. I'm not the fish connoisseur that my brother is, but it looks done. I don't know, it looks flaky. If I take it apart a little bit, I don't want to... Looks done. I don't know. I think that's done. I don't want to cook it too much. Alright, maybe, you know what? I'll put that to the side. And I want to throw my fries in. I don't want to kill it. Alright. Well, I figured while I let my dinner cool down ever so slightly, I'm going to tape out my seams. I got some like gaffer's tape. It's like duct tape, but it's like crazy. And the idea is to tape all of the rough edges because there's like a piece of steel that's got like birds on it. I made it pretty good, but I figure this is like a kind of trim. We're trimming it off with tape, which is going to give a nice soft. You catch up on it, you rip your jacket or whatnot. A little bit more pretty, a little less sharp anyways. Alright, I think the dinner's done. Should melt a hole in the ice, there we go. Holy moly. Steaming hot. I'm gonna see if I can actually get that so I can actually put it on my lap there. Maybe I'll do this. Never have enough horizontal surfaces. I think you know what to do is you have a flip down tray going forward in order to have your cake and eat it too. Flip down tray so you can have like table. Pond, caught, fresh trout. Let's see. Let's try the little fries. Oh, they're good. You see it fall off the bone. You gotta watch out the little bones in the trout. Oh, that's perfect. Holy moly! Oh. That's a really nice light for out here. That's awesome. Worked well. Oh, fish on! Fish on! This is why I think the fish guys got camera people. Oh, let's see if I can set you up there. Fish! Crawl in the ice shack. Okay, let's see. Oh, she's a big one. What the? How is it snagged? Is it just that big? Oh. This can't be snagged. It took it and ran. It got snagged on something. It's way the heck over here. I wonder if it... Where'd it go? Come back over here, fishy! a special talent to get snagged ice fishing. That's impossible. How do you get snagged ice fishing? Well, I'm gonna leave it and see if it untangles itself, because that's crazy. Come on, shoot. Don't put it in the hole though. Shoot. Nope. Oh, post. You're used to playing ringette. There you go. Try again. Whoa, there you go. What?
My hand's going numb.
Your hand's cold. Here, let's get you a glove. That's the hole.
Thank you. It's nice and warm.
There you go. What do you think?
I like it, but I still think you should put the fire out.
Why? Are you worried it's gonna melt through the ice?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's fine. You can't see you. Where are you? You're hiding.
Right here.
Yeah, you're hiding.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You been skating at night time?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Every kid in a puppy has to get a new puppy. Then the box caught. I'm winning.
Oh, got one. Oh, it's coming. Doesn't feel that big. Oh, she got a little fight to her. Whoa. Oh, oh. Oh, running again. It's rolling. Come on. Come on, last fish of the night. There's the sinker. Oh, woo! Look at that. Anyway, that's a pretty good size fish. Well, the one thing about having a fire on the ice is you don't really got to worry about, embers flicking off and catching anything on fire. I'm just reclined in the inside the cabin. I got the heater going, got the door open. I just watching the fire. It's getting late. It's been a long day of fishing. Especially tired when you got all that fresh air all day. And yeah, my daughter stopped by, go for a little skate. She wanted to see the lights, so I did that. And well, Don had to go home, and Chris had things to do. So it's just me and my fire. It's good to get out, and it's good to be, alone with your thoughts. It's clear sky, got a nice little fire going, my belly's full, just sitting here relaxing. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Well, it's pretty much time to put the hay. I fired up the heater and got her up to temperature in here. It says 28 degrees Celsius. It's kind of toasty. It's like t-shirt, shorts weather. I know it's going to cool off a little bit, but it should maintain a pretty good temperature in here. If not, I can just kind of reach over and turn it on for a little bit and then carry on. But anyways, pretty good. It has to ramp down, so it kind of, like when you turn it off, it kind of overshoots the temperature. It says 29 degrees now. It isn't a very big space to heat up, and it's very well insulated, so this thing works really, really well. I guess you could always open the door, vent off some of the heat. It makes you nice and sleepy. Anyway, I let you know how this this night goes. I got a whole pile of fish, And well, the one inside didn't really pan out because it I don't know, it got snagged or something like that. So oh well, I got quite a few fish. I don't need any more fish. I just gotta clean more fish. But anyway. All right, well, I'll see you in the morning. Hey, look, it's morning. And my hole is frozen. Well, it's not that frozen. Worked out pretty darn good. I don't know if you guys ever been on the ice before. If you're sleeping overnight on the ice, you sometimes wake up to large banging and cracking, and it's because there's pressure cracks inside the ice. There was none of that last night. Everything was hunky-dory, other than it being a little bit cold. But that's the troubles of heating a small space. I kind of have an idea on how to heat a small space comfortably that I'm probably going to entertain in the future. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys stick around, because yeah, I think I got the old ticker is ticking. It's got it. So is the heater. But I got a plan for a small space heater that will work and won't sweat you out and regulated. So maybe if you guys are interested in seeing that, make sure you mention something down below. But this little diesel heater, especially on for the price of it, it works really well. And yeah, I think the creature comforts, the Cabela's Bass Pro sort of gear, the winter boots, the winter jackets, sort of stuff like that is the way to go if you're winter camping, because you can always take layers off. You can't always add more layers. Or is that the other way around? Well, that's in the summertime. You can't always take your clothes. I don't know. Anyways, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's the sick. I'm curious to see how much ice formed last night, so I'm gonna actually show you guys how much ice formed overnight. I think it's about an inch of ice. I can see my holes. They're frozen over. So let's see here. Flip you guys around. So there's my one ice hole. You can see there's probably a half inch of ice on there. Yeah, it's about 3/8 worth of ice in there. So that's how much it froze last night. And then these are our previous holes, so I don't know how much ice is on there, but you can see the other two holes we had drilled. So I'm just gonna leave those guys frozen over. We're calling for rain in the next couple of days, so I'm gonna get off the ice and maybe I can maintain the rink for a little bit longer. So it'll give us a natural flood and refreeze on everything. But yeah, the cooker worked good. I still got a little bit of heat coming off that. Actually, no, I don't. She didn't melt the ice. My little blocks helped keep the ice from melting, and yeah, light worked out good. It's kind of neat there. Look at that's my cast iron frying pan's got a neat thing. I got that. That's a new thing. I'm still working on how to use that thing. That's a Cabela's Bass Pro thing. You can see it, kind of cool. Anyways. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure, and join me on the next one.